But before that, I want to start off with what I've been playing. And the first one is going to be Minecraft Dungeons. You know, y'all don't know yet, but I'm practicing writing reviews. I'm not going to write reviews that often, but I would like to get the skill. So I'm writing a review of Minecraft Dungeons. And that's going to be on the website soon, gamingincircles.com. But I will do more reviews like this while I talk about it on camera, so y'all can hear my opinions about them. So yeah, Minecraft Dungeons. So played this game on Game Pass. I completed it, and overall impressions, it's a great game, but I don't know what audience is trying to hit. And but what I mean by that is that they're trying to rope people in, Minecraft universe, the creepers and everything surrounding that universe. It attracts people who like Minecraft and the younger gamer. But at the same time, there's decisions that make it seem like it's trying to, attract like an older gamer, a seasoned ARPG player who likes those type of games. And if you don't know what Minecraft Dungeons is, it's basically Diablo. If you've seen Diablo 3, in my opinion, Diablo 3 was sort of like the coming out party for ARPG games on consoles. And for players who strictly play on consoles, that might be one of the first ones they played. So Minecraft Dungeons is a game that's very similar to it, but in many cases it's like I wouldn't say dumbed down. It's more of a simpler game. It's more of a simpler type of game in that same genre. So I'm gonna go over some of my positives, some of my negatives, and starting with the first positive is the game is fun to play. Straight up, I enjoyed the levels. I enjoyed going through it, exploring. I will talk about a difficulty spike near the end of the game, but overall, I enjoyed it. I wanted to keep coming back to it. There's an offline mode, online mode, single player. There's 4-player local co-op, 4-player online co-op. To the best of my knowledge, I played this game by myself the whole time, and I still enjoyed it. So, but the first individual positive I want to get to is honestly the enemy variety. Myself, I'm not a Minecraft player. I dabbled into the original Minecraft game, like a couple minutes here or there. I played with a couple friends for like an hour, and all I knew was creepers. That's it. Creepers come in, they destroy your house, they destroy your buildings and stuff. I just wanted to build buildings, and they kept on destroying them. And I was like, no, I want to play on the mode without the creepers. But anyway, you get into Minecraft Dungeons, and there's enemies, new types of enemies. They play all different ways, and I enjoyed it. And frankly, I never got bored of the enemy types. Every new level introduced a new enemy, and I was thoroughly surprised because, like I said, I thought it was just going to be creepers and skeletons, and every level threw a new enemy. I was sitting there, I was like, okay, I gotta play differently now. New level, what enemy is it? How am I gonna play differently? How is this enemy going to attack me, going to approach me? And that's honestly my biggest positive coming out of playing this game. And that's honestly a good thing for this type of game. ARPGs, if it would have been the same, 2 or 3 enemies, I think I would have stopped playing this game, because it gets tired, just pressing the same button, seeing the same enemies. And another thing I liked was the environments, how good it looked. I never would have thought like a low res game like Minecraft would look so high res as it is. And I'm playing on the original Xbox One, and it looked good. I barely had any, technical issues. The game never crashed on me, and I enjoyed exploring. Each level had tons of secrets, hidden chests, and the exploration was one thing that expanded my playtime. Because at first coming in, I thought I was just gonna, just try to mainline it, be through the entire level. And then once I found out there was the secrets, I was exploring every inch, every level, trying to find everything. And I didn't find everything, but that's fine. I enjoyed my time exploring. And some places, were difficult to get to. I will admit that. And that's part of the reason why I didn't get everything. But at the end of the day, I enjoyed my time in exploring across every level, finding, secret dungeons and getting those chests, getting better loot. And that's what the exploration is all about. So, one negative I want to give about Minecraft Dungeons. It's more to do with the enchantment system. And before I can explain that negative, I have to explain, the weapons and loot. So, as I'm pretty sure other types of games like Diablo, you earn your loot when you kill enemies and you find treasure chests throughout the map. Excuse me. But you can also, in your home base between every level, you can buy a new weapon, new relic, which is like the magic abilities and stuff, new armor. But the way you acquire when you buy it is it's sort of like a negative takeaway. You just can't walk up to the shop and say, I want a sword, I want a ranged weapon, I need a new piece of armor. It's like they put all these things in one randomized selection, and you have to buy it, and you get a piece at random. So you might be wanting, to get a sword, and it's like you get a piece of armor. You'd be like, all right, okay, it's randomized. I understand. But then you buy again, you get another piece of armor, you get another piece of armor, and you get another piece of armor, and then you get a bow, and then you're out of money, you're out of gems, the in-game currency you earn. There's no microtransactions. But it can get sort of frustrating, and the weapons and the equipment, they go by your level, like most games do. In the shop, the higher you level up, the more gems it costs to buy an item, and that can be frustrating when you're just trying to get a particular, not even like a particular piece of equipment, you're just trying to get at least something of that equipment. You're at least trying to get a sword, you're at least trying to get a piece of armor, and it's not giving it to you. And that's one of the negatives. But you can earn a lot of stuff in every dungeon. They have the secrets, they have the treasure chests. There's some items that increase the loot drops, so you can always earn weapons that way. But trying to buy stuff, it can be a little bit frustrating in that regard. And expanding on top of that, every weapon plus armor and ranged weapon, so melee weapon, ranged weapon, armor, there's 3 upgrades, and this is where the enchantment points come in. So every time you level up, you get an enchantment point, and you can use that enchantment point on weapons and armor. So for the first time you level up armor or weapons, it uses 1 enchantment point. Second time it uses 2 enchantment points. Third time, 3 enchantment points. So I like leveling things up. When I first started getting enchantment points, I was, leveling it up. And since it's the type of game you're constantly earning weapons, you're constantly earning new gear, new relics and stuff. But the main problem is that the unequipping of the enchantments. So you don't really unequip enchantments. If you level weapon and you put enchantments on it, but you want to take the enchantments off and put it on another weapon, you're destroying that weapon. You're salvaging that weapon. And that leads to a lot of not wanting to explore that weapon, not wanting to experiment with weapons, with combinations of certain weapons and certain armors, because I wanted to test weapons. I wanted to test combinations of armors and weapons and range weapons, bow and arrows, but I wanted to test them with the power that the enchantments gave that gear. And you can't really do that, because once you equip something and you'll be like, nah, I don't want it, but maybe I wanted it later. The game is like, no, you're getting rid of this stuff. You want these enchantments back, you got to get rid of it. And that was the biggest downer for me. I would say that was the biggest negative for me out of playing this game. So keep that in mind. If you love a weapon, you got to hold on to it, but you earn new weapons, you earn better weapons as you level up. But the new weapons that you earn might not exactly fit your playstyle. So if you're wanting to hold on to enchantments just to hold on to certain weapons, you're going to have to replay a whole bunch of levels, like time and time and over again, just to level up more, just so you can get extra enchantments to put on new pieces of gear, new weapons, new armor. The relics, which is the abilities, stuff that can shield you, stuff that can heal you. You can summon a wolf, you can summon a llama, things of that nature. They don't take any enchantments, so you're not really worried about that. And I love the thing about the gear. I like, you can change gear mid-dungeon. It's not like you're going into a dungeon and you're stuck with the particular gear that you're equipped on. You can at least change it. But say you're at a dungeon which is at the recommended level 10, and you brought your stuff in there fully enchanted, but you want to change it. Do you make that choice? Do you be like, during the middle of this dungeon, all right, I'm gonna salvage everything, I'm gonna equip everything, or are you gonna change it to a lower level and make it quote unquote harder for you to fight and to complete that dungeon? So yeah. So besides that negative, overall, in the overall sense, I like the game. I thought it was enjoyable. And the game is on Game Pass, so I would recommend playing it through. One last thing is another. I don't want to seem like I'm dogging on the game because I enjoyed it. The other thing, be wary, there's a difficulty spike near the end of the game. I think I mentioned it in the beginning, but it seems like for the difficulty, you're on like a line like this, right? And for experienced seasoned players of this genre, you might think it's easy. I thought it was easy, honestly. I was just slashing my way, killing enemies through the dungeons, and you get to about the last 3 levels, and the difficulty spike goes from here and it goes all the way up. And that was the most frustrating thing about the gameplay, mainly because I expect it to be harder. I expect there to be difficulty spikes, but not at the level it was when it just randomly increased like that. They just throw enemies at you, and on top of that, they throw projectile-based enemies at you. And before I hit those levels, there wasn't no need of a shield. There wasn't no need of like a block command, block the button or anything. But getting to those levels, it was frustrating that you didn't have those functions, you didn't have those abilities. And the only reason I say that is because when all those enemies mob at you at once, you're basically using all your relics at once. And after that, you're basically, in my experience, I was running in circles, waiting for the cooldowns to stop, waiting for everything to cool down. And, no one wants an experience where you're constantly running in circles. Um, so, yeah, that was the biggest frustrating thing about the game in terms of the gameplay itself. And, that was the reason why I brought up at the top why I think it's confused in terms of what audience it wants to go towards. Because the story is simple, but on the gameplay side, they make decisions like, is that suitable for people who are just jumping in that are fans, that are the younger gamers that are just fans of the Minecraft universe? So yeah, but overall, really good game, great game. You got Game Pass, check it out, play it, complete it. There's replayability in it. After you beat the story, you can play on it on a harder difficulty. You get better rewards, better loot. So yeah. So